Welcome. We're here for the 5th Annual Triathlon Selection Show. I'm Mike Dussault here with defending champion Mike Dodge and co-creator of the triathlon, Chris Dussault. Unfortunately, Coach K is not here. He's set in some contract negotiations. We weren't able to get him. But before we start with the actual selection, I do want to bring up a few rule changes here. One, we will not be going to Hooters this year. We will be going straight to 10-Pin Alley. This does save us some money, which fortunately has given us the ability to put a closest to the pin on the 9th hole for a cash prize. So those are some of the new developments here to look forward to. Also want to invite and welcome 2 new people to the triathlon. First would be Andy DeBlasi up from Florida. Excited to have him along, as well as the brother of defending champion Bildo Veerhoff. Doug Veerhoff is a new guy that will definitely be worth taking a look at here. Also want to thank all the out-of-towners for coming in. We have people coming in from DC, Pittsburgh, North Carolina, so obviously this means a lot to a lot of people. So we're happy to have everybody back. As people are aware, the returning champions, Mike Dodge and Bill Veerhoff, will be paired together as a team. Unfortunately, Andy Spasmo has a family reunion with the Brown family out in D.C. and won't be able to make it. Either will Brooke, his partner. So that's all it is for the background, and we're going to hand it over to Chris Dussault, who's going to start the selections.
One of the changes that we've had to the selection show this year is we're going to a Powerball style draft. So what I'm going to be doing is picking the names up and handing them to the 2 very capable announcers to my left.
The first selection, number 1 on the number 1 team, is one of my co-hosts here, Chris Dussault. Never been a real challenger to the triathlon crown, but recently did hit up Wilson with him, and he's improved his golf game, so things could be up and coming for this guy.
Well, I'm happy to announce here that the 5th Dussault son, John Fromkes, is being paired with Chris Dussault, and I believe this is a second time that these two have been paired together.
I believe so, I believe so. So again, I don't know if these guys are going to be competitors. They'll be out there having fun. I could put them in the top half, but I don't see them as a challenger.
Yeah, they'll be a good team, but I know John will be wearing a smile the entire day.
There we go. The number 1 guy on the second team is, I don't think I can do as much justice as Coach K did about this guy, but I know I love him. Brent Martin, a hell of a competitor, will definitely get after it, and is a good partner to have, but again, I don't know if he's going to be competing for the crown.
Well, hopefully he is competing for the crown because he is your teammate. Oh. He is paired with you, Mike Dussault. This will be an interesting group. Hopefully Brent will have a little more stamina this year than he has in past years. I know he's been working hard in the off season, so best of luck to you guys.
I couldn't be happier. We're could be back again next year.
We'll see.
First teammate on the 3rd team is Mikey Barger, who was my teammate last year. Hell of a guy, hell of a competitor, a lot of fun to play with. He's got a lucky partner on his hands.
Well, this will be interesting. He's got a fellow 96er to play with this year. Tom White, expecting a couple of twins. And this will be an interesting group. These guys have a long history together, but 2 very, very solid competitors and a team that I expect to be in the upper half this year.
Yeah. We have Dave Black, a returning champion from, I believe, 2 years ago. All around, no weaknesses, solid in all 3 events.
Yeah, and his partner here is also a good competitor, Andrew Farber. The knock on Wellington guys is usually that they're soft and can't really put up much of a fight. But Andrew is the exception to that. And I like this team. Pretty strong.
How do you
all
think?
the way around.
How do you think Andy Farber having a baby is going to affect this? He's a new father, and
Yeah, that's always a variable you got to consider every year. And
he also has a wedding to show face to. So
yeah, it's probably not going to end up good.
yeah. Next team will consist of Matt Copeland, another legendary triathlon guy. I think he hasn't missed a year. Always brings his A game. Don't know if he's got the skill set to compete for a title, but he's definitely a good time and will be one hell of a partner.
Well, and he's going to be partnered with a dear friend of mine, Andy Emery, and I believe these two have partnered in the past. Not a very successful pairing as far as the standings. However, when it comes to having fun out there competing, these guys are at the top of the list.
Yeah, and
for
I
sure.
can tell you for sure both those guys will be happy to have each other as partners. So
Yeah.
that's a great team. Up next, again, the first player on this team is going to be Adam Scott. We all know Adam is probably the #1 golf player in this tournament. Again, we have a new father with a wife that will certainly be keeping tabs on him. So
Absolutely.
That could affect, and it'll be interesting to see how that affects his game.
For sure. I tell you what, this is going to be a very formidable team. He's going to be paired with Mike Retta coming in from Pittsburgh.
And didn't you win a title with Mike Retta?
Yes, Mike and I have a great history together as former champions. This is a team that I think will really, really compete. You get Adam's overall athletic ability and Mike's tenacity together. This is a squad that I would put in the top 3, and I'd be surprised if they don't finish there.
Adam has a history of choking, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, pressure situations and Adam do not go well together.
So that could affect him in the corner.
It could, but I think Mike Retta's tenacity is gonna push him through. So we'll see on the day of the triathlon.
Next, we have a guy who wasn't able to make it last year, but is a younger guy with a lot of talent, and again, I think is pretty solid all three phases of the triathlon. Ben Kautz. We're happy to have him back, and it'll be interesting to see how he does.
Well, he may do okay, but unfortunately for him, he's paired with Ben Fortkamp, who is a great guy, but you know, he's not really a golfer. He can play the golf, but I think it's the stamina at the end of the triathlon that might affect 40. But in any event, these two paired together, I think it'd be a good match, and we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, you know, can Kautz hang with Fortkamp? Because Fortkamp's going to push him and push him and push him.
That's right.
So if Kautz can hang, that could be a team that I think could be okay, actually.
Yeah, now that I think about it a little bit more, with 40 and Kautz, I like this team, and we'll see how they do.
2 college athletes.
Yep, for sure.
Up next, we have the newly married, fresh off of almost a full year of honeymoon bliss, Ian Smith. He's, again, one of those guys who's a great partner. I think I've had him as a partner in the past. I don't know if he's ever finished close to the top, but paired with the right person, he could do some damage.
And he's going to be paired with a guy that, boy, I really wish Coach K were here because he would have some great things to say about this guy. Chris Catalano, a.k.a. Cat Dog. Cat Dog is skilled at leisure sports, including golf and bowling and cornhole. So I like this team.
A little mix of personality. Cat Dog's got a lot of intensity. Ian's more laid-back guy. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, maybe they can end up meshing well together. But this is a good team. I'm interested to see how these guys do.
This will be one of those that could be at the top or at the very bottom. So this will be an interesting team.